I'm curious to, talk about this with you because I'm a little bit confused actually. Maybe you can provide some clarity what the rules are here for the NBA. And you are probably a big fan of the rules, I think, right? Especially as a ex referee, right?
What a fun guy I am.
you believe the rules are there to uphold this great game and the structure of the game to protect, well, to look after the players and integrity of the game and obviously how it flows and the experience for the paying customer and so on and so forth. Okay. And I guess in 2023, I have no real idea what is actually permitted to do as a player after scoring a basket. So you can get teched for taunting, but you don't get teched for too small. And
No, you
you can,
can. You have. I think there has actually been a technical foul for too small.
no one
So
gets teched for too small. That's the current one that's trending. Every single dude scores on a player, big, small, who cares? They get a bucket and the player is too small. But how is that not taunting?
taunting and excessive celebrations are the two things that deem criteria for a technical foul. It's so subjective. I do not think there's a perfect way of doing this. So I remember that dunk on your
Yep,
head,
yep, yep.
that eventually became a consistent tech.
Okay. So
Too
no one does that
small, I
anymore.
believe.
No one does that anymore,
No,
correct? No one does
and
this one
that's the
anymore. Yep.
point.
Okay. Yep.
It's look, I'm when it comes to the rules, I don't enjoy the fact that they take out some of this narrative entertainment side of things. You think about Trey Young telling the crowd to be silent or bowing, like theoretically, that's an excessive celebration. That's taunting. It's
Yep.
just not taunting a player or referee. So by the black and white rules, well, that should be a technical foul. But same for stare downs. Stare downs get you a technical foul as well.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. I've seen
look,
that.
I'm
Like
not
that.
going to disagree with you.
I,
I think that they should be able to have that level of emotion. There is a difference between being a little bit showboaty in front of a player that you just did something to and physically touching them or getting in their face or getting in their space or saying something to them. They are different things.
I think you hit that one on the head right there. Like again, I'm sure there's a rule book somewhere. I don't know whether we can Google this. Probably, yeah, you can Google anything. But I guess you're saying that, all right, if you're celebrating and you're going down the floor and you're celebrating, one of the one that sticks in my head that I like, it's nice and simple, is Sam Cassell's big balls. You've seen that one, yeah? It goes up and down the
Yeah.
floor, yeah, and like big balls, what a big shot. And like it's like okay, and that one now straight away, that's like a technical foul, potential fine even. I don't know, it's offensive maybe. I don't know. Like seriously, okay, and and I guess that's different to say you walk up to a player, and this is what they used to do in the 90s sort of thing. You walk up to a player and you get in their face, and you can think about like Sean Kemp on Alton Lister and in his face, or Dikembe Mutombo, this sort of stuff in your face. Again, look, that was a whole another era, and I get it that that's not how the game is nowadays and the rules are nowadays. But I'm totally confused. Like I said, the too small's fine. This isn't fine. Um, yeah, I don't know, and I think it doesn't really make the game any better in this sort of situation. You can rock the baby to sleep, that's fine, but there's other things that you're just doing that deemed offensive. I don't know. Is even like finger guns offensive right now?
It's probably a little bit controversial, but it also is the States, so that's a whole other debate. Look, I think we have a general idea of what is or is not appropriate to do, right? So, obviously middle finger would not be appropriate, um, swearing, etc. But this is the thing, like, I know it sounds ridiculous that we're having this conversation, but perhaps the NBA does need to come out with a list of banned and appropriate, I guess, taunts or celebrations. But naturally, like as happens with pop culture, things will change, new things will come out. Like Too Small was not around when I was playing basketball, 15 years ago. You will find new ways to bend these rules. And I think as we come back to the core message of this, it's not good for the game. It it is okay to celebrate your success, and basketball very much is a play-by-play thing. I think there's a lot of obsession put over, well, you just did the too small gesture to me, so now we're going to have a fight about it. And it's just like, if you're a mature person who's playing sport, or if you understand the game of basketball, you get the ball back and you can go do something to them. And that makes the game far more interesting than disrupting it with a tech and not letting the player respond. And we see it in the All-Star game, right? I do something to you, then you try to do it to me down the other end. Those moments could happen in regular season games if the referees didn't jump in on what was competitive testiness more than it was inappropriate behavior.
it is a fine line, I guess. Obviously I coach kids too, and I've got kids on my team that like to use the too small at times. They can barely make a layup because they made a basket in the game. Suddenly the opposition is too small, yeah. And I guess it's I don't know. I'm not sure what again is exactly the solution yet. There is no solution. I guess that's the reality. I guess sports is competitive. I'm a fan of trash talking. Okay, I don't think there's anything wrong with again not being offensive, derogatory, or anything like that. But you know, vocalizing and verbalizing, you know, your opinion in a game at times. And I guess this is probably a byproduct of that from a physical perspective. So look, I guess if I had to vote one way or another, I'd say that, taunt away, taunt away, but obviously you just got to do it like you probably said, like without in someone's personal space.
Yeah.
This is Two Guys with Spare Time. I'm Faz, this is Nick. You're probably a basketball fan like us, so hopefully you can throw us an assist and giving our video a like and subscribing to our channel.
And if you got thoughts, feelings, or even some suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And thank you for using your spare time to watch us in our spare time.